Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, today we're going to work on our pedestal and move on. Okay guys, the next step in this is with our pedestal mounted again in our cradle. I've measured down 3/8 of an inch. And that's going to be where we're going to set our dovetail bit. Now, as you can see on this foot, the 3/8 makes a pretty nice looking dovetail. Now, I know your inclination is going to be to do some great big deep thing up in here. You just don't need it. And you really didn't see that in the historical ones. Okay, now what we got to do is we got to get our top mounted so that our guide can work in it. And we got to set up our guide. Now you can do it by eye, but I much prefer to set a stop. Now, all I did with this was took the table saw, and you can see what I did. I just ran up, I ran up, flipped it over, ran up again, and kept sneaking up on it to make sure it was centered to get my 1-inch space that fits my guide. And then I just bandsawed it. Now you see I got a little lump here? That's a good thing. Because what's going to happen, that little lump, I'll position this so that when this comes in and it bumps up against the guide, it's a stop. I don't want to run that dovetail bit up too far. So let us get another camera angle and we'll look at this. Okay, all I'm going to do is take the guide and put it in, bump it up against my little button there, and move back until I can see the outside of the guide is right at the edge of my collar on the, and then I'm going to staple it in place. Now, the other thing you're going to notice here is I've got an area extending beyond the pedestal. And that's just so we can get the bit in here and get a start before we go into the pedestal. Okay, let me get the router set up now. And like I said, we're going to use a 14-degree, 3/4 inch dovetail bit. Now I will say this, that's not critical. You can use, I wouldn't go much less than a 5/8, but the degree don't really matter a lot, but this is just what I like and works for me. So let me get set up and we'll be back. Okay, now that we're set up, we simply make our cut. That'll do. Okay, now I just got to loosen it, rotate, and do the other two sides. The big key is, again, make sure you're square. Okay, lock it down. Double check. Do it again. Do the other side and we got it. Pretty simple. Okay, let me do that and we'll be right back. Okay, now something I may or may not have mentioned is you want to make sure, of course, the end of your cradle here is square, but you also want to make sure you keep your pedestal flush at the end so that when you're indexing everything remains the same. It remains constant. Make sense? Good. Okay, now let me get set up to drill the top of the post in order to get our key in. And this will become more understandable as we proceed. Let me get set up and we'll be back. Okay, drilling the pedestal. Now the first thing, the little key we're going to make looks something like this. We all know my drawing skills, but that's kind of what it looks like. Anyway, now, here's your layout. And you should have known I turned around and walked off with my pencil. I'll be right back. Okay, first thing I got to do is whatever my base on my bird cage is going to be, I got to go forward. And then my collar. Now this collar is about a 1/2 inch. So I got to move forward. Okay, now what will happen once the collar is made, there's actually a little notch gets cut in it, like this, for the key to slide to. And of course the hole in the pedestal. That said, wherever your finish point is, you want to back up about 1/4 inch. That's to have room for that key to go through. Sherry asked it, do you have to line up a foot or something with the key? No, because it sets in there on a swivel. It could be anywhere. Okay. Now, I have located my center here. And you notice I got a fence set up to keep me from jumping around. And I've got a block underneath, and I'm gonna go slow and easy because I don't want to I don't want to chip out on the bottom. Now, let me say something. I have, and usually do, turn this close, get it round, and then drill it, and then come back and finish it to dimension to make sure if I do get chip out, I can turn it out. But I think we'll be okay. Okay, now I'm going about 3/4 of an inch up, all the way through. Now I'm going to go another 1/2 inch up or so, halfway through, because this key we'll take a rasp and we'll make it on an angle inside. Make sense? Okay. Excuse me, pine. So again, I'm just going to move forward. Okay, that'll do us. Okay, with our pedestal now dovetailed, and we've got a little key weight going. Now, at this point, we can do one of two things. We can either go to the feet, or we can turn the pedestal. And I gotta be honest, I got these grounds that come up with stuff to make the feet out. I don't have any 8-quarter. I'm really wanting to cut up to make a pine foot. But I've got some stuff I might do up. So the next show will be just that. It's going to be the feet and the bird cage. Like I told you, the last thing we're going to do is the actual top. Okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm just simply going to rough this out on the indicator. Then we will be filming, whatever point we get to it, the finish up of it on the lathe, the handle. Okay, that's kind of the rough end. Now, I will be the first to tell you, see this flat spot? I'm about, not quite an 8 oversized, and I'll clean all this up by hand, and we'll have a pedestal. See where that pine chipped out on it? Oh man, it's bad. Particularly when you get me doing a bead, but I'm big enough here I can recover. Okay, that's the basis of the pedestal. Now when we're done, this is what it's supposed to look like. Nice pedestal. Okay. Alright. So let me see where I'm at. We're done. Now. Okay. Okay. We're done for now. So I'll get a little epoxy here just so we get it clean. And then I'll finish this out. And the next show we'll get our feet on. And again, the bird cage. Do you think that bird cage leaks? Think again, grasshopper. I told you. Them little boys. To be honest, they are probably the toughest part. Not really, but we do have to do these things. I can kind of get them on the duplicator. And if I had my Vega here, again, it's got the sharp point, and I've got a small one, it will help get them. But these are just pieces out of my hand. Okay, guys. Now, today is Monday. I know we're late. And I don't know what I did. I woke up, turned my head and sneezed. Oh my goodness, I couldn't turn my back today.